welcome everyone to our final Regulation H tournament here at Zacaturna Plays in Big Bear, California. Pretty cloudy day today, so hopefully everyone's keeping warm. Hopefully everyone is keeping themselves happy for the new year, because this is also the last tournament of 2024. I am Jesus Coronel, unfortunately joined by no one except a bunch of Dragon Knights, because I'm not sure if people know this, but Giovanni Costa sent a parting gift before his takeoff to Japan, and hopefully we wish him to, I mean, first of all, we wish Gio the best while in Japan, because he's dedicated a lot of time to go there, but that's enough of the Dragon Knights, because we have all of them here. Otherwise, we have 6 rounds in this Autumn Gym Challenge finale, the League Cup, today here, and ooh, we have a locked team. So, this is between 2 younger trainers here. We got Jacob Moore, M, and then we have Charlie Kim, who recently got 2nd place at Toronto Regionals in the Seniors Division. So congratulations, Charlie, for coming up big when it matters and probably secures him if not a World's invite to the 2025 Anaheim World Championships in August 2025. The teams will be as follows from Jacob. And for them, it's going to be Rillaboom, Hydreigon, Annihilape, Murkrow, Maushold, and Dragonite. While for Charlie, he's going to be having the Komo, Kingambit, Magmar, Rillaboom, Alolan Ninetales, and the Male Basculin Legion, as we're going to have a lot of these technical issues being fixed. Hopefully we'll put everyone in from twitch.tv/PowGaming to this final Regulation H tournament, and hopefully everyone can have a good time as we say one more time goodbye to Regulation H once this tournament ends, because by the end of the year, we're going to be back to Regulation G, where all the restricted Pokemon will be coming back, all the legendary Pokemon will be coming back, and all of the Paradox Pokemon will be coming back. I'm sure some people are going to enjoy it, some won't. But I can guarantee you, we will be having tournaments in 2025 that are guaranteed to get you on your feet and on your excitement bike. Because historically, throughout this whole entire 2025 season so far, we had 12 different Gym Challenge champions. You need to fact check that. No, 11 Gym Challenge champions total. Ellie Holman, who's playing today as well, set to defend her title. Now that we are gone on the team sheets, once again the teams is going to be Dragonite, Hydreigon, Maushold, Annihilape, Murkrow, and the Rillaboom for Jacob. For Charlie, it's going to be the Komo-O, Kingambit, Magmar, Rillaboom, Alolan Ninetales, and the Male Basculin Legion. So, again, Charlie's team very reminiscent of what Benny Vasquez used to play in Toronto Regionals to get to 4th place, all for top 8, only to lose to Giovanni Costa in the top 4 at the Toronto Regional. Unfortunately, that was just 2 SoCal people just unfortunately pairing into each other, so that was just poor luck on that part. But it's a proven team, it's proven to do well, it's been arguably the meta adaptation for 2024 at the end of the regulation. But on the side of Jacob, obviously there's a lot of meta stuff here, like the Dragonite with Scale Shot. There's also a Mouseape, the combination that was really dreaded for a long time, because you could just beat up your own Annihilape and potentially Rage Fist, or you could just potentially run into a Choice Guard variant with Final Gambit. You could also just get out damaged by Population Bomb with his Technician. There's so many possibilities that could be happening, and none of them sound well to take, no matter which side of the coin you are on. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start with game number 1 here of this Autumn League Cup. It's Charlie leading the Komo-O and the Magmar for Jacob. They're going to be leading the Hydreigon and Murkrow. So double Dark lead against a Dragon and Fire type. Komo-O is able to set up with the Claim Your Soul with Follow Me support from Magmar. This Hydreigon is holding the Choice Spec, so it is going to be able to hit hard fast, which it is able to do with stuff like Dragon Meteor and Heat Wave, potentially Snarl, but depending on how the Komo-O is trained, it could just be for nothing, because all 3 of Komo's abilities have immunities to something: Overproof, Soundproof, and Overcoat. And until we find out here on what's going to be happening here is going to be the Follow Me coming up from this Magmar to make sure the Como gets off of Clinging the Soul uninterrupted. Here's the Murkrow going for the Tailwind for Jacob to make sure that their team has increased speed. There's Mega Meteor now landing onto that Magmar. Doesn't quite get the one-hit knockout, unfortunately, even with the choice specs. And no Clinger Assault puts out. Instead, the Clinging Scales, which does have the Murkrow, almost knocks out the Hydreigon, but Rose defends that, but activates the Growth Ray for special attack boost. And with that special attack boost, this Como actually gets a lot scarier because it is able to deal consistent damage to both of Hydreigon and the Murkrow, and yep, you can't switch moves if you're using Dragon Meteor. You gotta try to land with the Como. I think that Magmar is just content with taking damage away from the Como, but Charlie protects the Como to make sure it's safe anyway. Haze comes out, which will remove the special attack boost and the defense drop from Como, as well as the Dragon Meteor drop as it launches into the protect of the Como, so it won't be doing damage this turn. Overheat lands onto the Hydreigon, knocks it out at low range with a critical hit, which didn't really matter at the long term. And now Charlie in a great spot, even though the Como lost a special attack boost. In comes the Mousehole for Jacob, and now they're looking to at least launch that Population Bomb, or, okay, it's going to protect as well. That's another possibility that could be happening because, well, this Clinging Scales is still going to do a lot of damage, even though it is now at neutral once again. And frankly, the Clinging Scales is just becoming a problem for Jacob because when they can't really touch the Como, it's a big issue. Where the Magmar is just content with Follow Me and redirecting any attack away from Como, making sure it's able to launch those Clinging Scales without much issue to the opponent. Foul Play goes into the Magmar and knocks it out. So there will be no more Follow Me for the rest of the game, unless, of course, Charlie has a way to support his Como differently. Clinging Scales, as we saw, should be able to knock the Murkrow from this range. Will it go? No, it hangs on at 1 HP, so it will stick around for another turn for Prankster usage. And in comes Rillaboom from Charlie, so Fake Out's definitely imminent. Murkrow's also Terra Ghost here, so there is an option for Jacob to go ahead and tear their Murkrow to Ghost to make sure that the Fake Out doesn't land on the Murkrow, but it looks like they're also just content to go Terra Ghost on the Mousehole to make sure it doesn't get faked out, because Population Bomb already running to knock out the Como because of every move defense stat, and even if it hits the Rillaboom, it's going to get a lot of consistent damage done. There's the Terra on the Mousehole to go for Jacob, and that's going to mean no Fake Out going this way. But what does Charlie do here? I'm pretty sure the Fake Out has to go. Oh no, Fake Out comes out. Population Bomb going to land on the Como. How many hits is it going to get? That -1 defense stat from the Clinging Scales earlier. That's the 5th hit. The 6th one will finish it off. This Rillaboom gonna probably take a Foul Play here, so with Foul Play, it's gonna be taking around 50%, if I have to guess here? Yeah, somewhere around there, like 40, 44-ish. But that was really smart of Charlie not to quick Fake Out onto the Terra Ghost Como, Terra Ghost Mousehole, excuse me. And now you land that Wood Hammer onto the Mousehole, knock it out, and now this Murkrow's kind of in a weird spot because it's still in Grassy Glide range because it's at 1 HP. And Charlie now has another Pokemon to play with. And Jacob's last Pokemon is going to be that Annihilate, which is going to be notorious here for a couple of reasons. As Charlie's going to bring out the Ninetales, that's the last Pokemon, going to get the Snow Warning. And no Fairy move intact, so it's left using Blizzard or pretend. Yeah, you gotta go for Blizzard because you're going to lose Icy Wind, which would activate the Defiant ability on the Annihilate. I think the question just becomes, does the Annihilate have what it takes to knock out the Ninetales? But I'm pretty sure with Jacob clicking Sunny Day Air and the Murkrow to override the Snow, that's going to be a big deal, because not only does it reduce Blizzard's perfect accuracy in the Snow to its default 70% accuracy, but it also makes things difficult for Ninetales to take physical hits. Grassy Glide going to come out, knock out the Murkrow, so there it goes. No more Tailwind for the rest of the game. Not that it needed it, but because the Annihilate is carrying that Choice Scarf item. Post Combat launching into that Rillaboom, knocks it out. It is down to a one-on-one situation for both players. And now it just comes down to whether or not this Ninetales can land Blizzards, because they're not perfect anymore. It lands the first one. Critical hits through it. Okay, never mind. That's game one going to Charlie off the critical hit Blizzard. First of all, it got the connection, and second of all, it got the KO. That's all you can ask for if you're Charlie. And now, this is going to be a really interesting situation for Jacob, because they had the right idea for going for the Draco Meteor with the Haze combination with Murkrow and Hydreigon, but the bigger issue was really the Magmar, which we saw was a little bit precarious because it knocked out essentially knocked out the Murkrow, knocked out the Hydreigon as well, like not immediately from the first hit, but it just made things difficult for Jacob to at least combat the backup moves for Rillaboom and the Ninetales, and although the critical hit may not have mattered in the end, it's quite possible that it would have gotten knocked out by a second Blizzard, even though there's a potential it could have gotten knocked out with -1 special defense from the close combat in one hit. That's something that is concealed because Charlie ended up getting the critical hit, and therefore we don't really have much information on that. So, I think the adaptation might have to be, you have to do something differently with the Annihilate, because Rage Fist is one of your best moves into the Magmar, or even at that final Gambit, because if you can remove the Follow Beam user immediately, you can now focus everything towards the Como-O, and although you were able to knock it out with the Mousehold with Population Bomb, Charlie was also just very smart not to quick fake out in front of a Terra Ghost incoming from that slot. Okay, different lead from Charlie. It's going to be the Ninetales and the Rillaboom lead, while Jacob going to lead both the choice Pokemon, being Hydreigon and Annihilate. Snow going to go up, as well as Grassy Terrain. Yeah, I was about to mention that, because like, Terrifier Hydreigon is the choice here, because it not only does it resist both of Ninetales' stabs, which primarily here is Ice, it also gives you a way to mitigate the Rillaboom by making sure all of its moves are either going to hit it once or not very effective. It only has Grassy Glide as damage, and Wood Hammer as well, so this Terrifier Hydreigon is very much safe here. And clicking Heat Wave is also really excellent, because both of Charlie's Pokemon are weak to Heat Wave right now, and this gives it an extra power boost as well with that choice spec. So this could be a big draw for Jacob if Charlie isn't able to respond with that fake out, and it has to be going into the Hydreigon there. There's the final Gambit into the Rillaboom. Does it knock it out? No, it does not. That tells us that the Annihilate does not train like heavily into the HP stat, or the inverse. It could be that the Rillaboom is trained in HP and is able to tank at least one final Gambit before the final Gambit user can go down. Icy Wind is able to land on the Hydreigon, slowing it down for the next turn. And here comes the Murkrow now from Jacob, so this could just potentially negate the Icy Wind that the Ninetales did earlier, and it means that the Ninetales is pretty much in a weird spot, because you already know that Murkrow Sunny Day from Game 1. I mean, obviously you know it from Team Feeds, but for the viewers at home, it had Sunny Day. And therefore, you were able to override the snow, making sure that the Blizzards were never 100% accurate here. Rillaboom anticipating his own demise by going for the Grassy Type on the Murkrow just to get chip damage on, as Tailwind gets set by the Murkrow. Heat Wave does double connect on both the Rillaboom and the Ninetales. It knocks out the Rillaboom from that low HP, and Ninetales hangs on with a Focus Sash. If this is Blizzard incoming, this will potentially knock out the Murkrow. If it's Icy Wind, it's playing into the back Pokemon of Charlie. It's just a Blizzard. It does not knock out the Murkrow. Very minimal damage towards the Hydreigon as well. And in comes that Magmar from Charlie, so I think I see the vision of what Charlie is going for. He might have gone for a reverse lead here for game number 2, and potentially have the Como-O as well in the back to pivot in once you deal with the threats like Annihilate, or make Murkrow basically a non-existent factor. Although, you now know the Ninetales is not outspeeding the Hydreigon even with the Icy Wind drop because of the Tailwind. And with Tailwind up, you're pretty much free to go for the Sunny Day Heat Wave combination, because even if Magmar is able to survive the turn, there's not really much you can do here. Hydreigon does double connect the Heat Wave, it will KO the Ninetale. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage to the Magmar though, so it will at least outlast a lot of the damage coming in from Hydreigon, and Jacob in a great spot in terms of damage output. Willis connects on the Murkrow, and it will knock it out because of the burn chip damage being at 3 HP. It's gonna go down, so we're down to a 2-on-2. And I'm pretty sure it's a weird spot because, well, obviously Jacob has better control, so Heat Waves are gonna be doing a whole lot of damage, but it depends on what's in the bag. If it's King Gambit, it's great. If it's not, then you gotta hope that this mouse hold is enough to handle whatever it is in the back, and Charlie sends out Kuma-O last. With potential. So there's 2 turns on the Tailwind from Jacob, if I recall. With 2 turns, you have to deal enough damage as quickly as possible. Hydreigon is doing okay damage to a lot of the field with that Sun boosted Choice Specs Heat Wave and Terra boosts as well. Mousehold might have to do a lot of the heavy lifting for going for Population Bomb. And if you go for that Population Bomb, you need to be able to connect. I mean, first of all, you gotta connect all on your hits. But you gotta decide on who you go after, because if you go after the Kuma-O here as it protects, it's not gonna do a whole lot of damage. This Magmar kind of. Okay, don't protect just to see out where Mousehold's Population Bomb's going. I think that's the only thing that's a factor right now, because Magmar, maybe I have a look here, is Terra Ghost. So it goes one of 2 ways. Terra Ghost can either make or break the Magmar, because the Magmar, while it is able to make sure the Population Bomb doesn't do anything, who knows how much Heat Wave is doing. I mean, yes, it has Eviolite. Yes, it has pretty good special defense. How much is it doing with a neutral hit this time instead of a normal hit? And here's Follow Me coming in from Magmar. No Terra coming out either from Charlie. I'm a little surprised at that. Population Bomb comes out into the Magmar. How much? Okay, well, it's going to need to hit all 10 hits in order to knock it out. There's 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's gonna get a knockout. No misses anywhere from Jacob's Mousehold. And now Charlie. Again, everything comes down to this Kuma-O. It might have clicked Klinger Soul, but it needs to be able to survive a single target Sun boosted, Terra boosted Heat Wave with the Choice Specs. How much damage does it do? Oh, that actually might be Klinger Soul range. It goes for the Klinger Soul and it's out of range of the HP, unfortunately. So I think this just means, yeah, Terrawind's also gone. And we are going to be going with Game 3. Yeah, there's the Terra from Kuma-O. There's going to be the Terra Fire. And now that it's Terra Fire, it is going to be able to resist that Heat Wave, but doesn't even matter. The basic Population Bomb, it will go down. In 4 hits, we have Game 3 coming up next. Alright, let's... So, Jacob definitely played a different strategy for game number 2, and with that strategy, it came in with the expectation of Annihilate going for a final game to make sure something gets knocked out, nothing is knocked out, but you had enough offense with the Hydreigon and the Murkrow to subsequently negate anything that Charlie could have done, and it basically led to a snowball of, oh, wait a minute, I have no damage control over this Hydreigon. How do I beat this Hydreigon then? I'm looking at Charlie's team, you know. Askew Legion hasn't been brought out, probably because of the Hydreigon Dark Pulse as well as potentially the Murkrow having Tailwind against that Choice Scarf, which is going to make sure that the Choice Scarf's mitigated from Charlie said. So, once again, I need to reiterate this. Jacob, their team, very much reliant on speed control, which is very much reliable from the Murkrow. And the only speed control that Charlie really has is Icy Wind, and it was mitigated. Both teams are locked in for Game 3. One more game to decide who wins this round 1 matchup between Jacob and Charlie. 2 trainers in the juniors and seniors division respectively. And both of them are eyeing Worlds tickets in the future for 2025. Charlie gonna go ahead and lead with Basculin Legion and Ninetales, while Rillaboom and Maushold are the leads for Jacob. So once again we have Grassy Surge and Snow Warning activate each side. Basculin Legion, I'm not sure if it's able to knock out the Maushold on a single hit. I think it's more than likely under threat of the Basculin Legion, because even though you can land Blizzard on the Rillaboom, it's not going to knock it out with the Assault Vest. So even if this Ninetales is trained to be early aggressive, it won't be able to at least use that aggression to our advantage, because Wave Crash, it could knock out the Maushold. It can. But then what does the Basculin Legion do? Does it just feint the incoming Wood Hammer from the Rillaboom? It might feint to a Grassy Glide if it's trained properly. Because Ninetales is in a precarious spot, and Charlie's going to Tera turn number 1. And it might be for Basculin Legion. It's going to be the Tera fighting. Maushold protects. So it was under threat of the Wave Crash, and now that the Tera came out from Tera Blast from Basculin Legion, and it is unable to hit the super effective damage onto the Maushold, unfortunately. Icy Wind gets launched from Ninetales into the protect of the Maushold. Does it connect onto the Rillaboom? It does, so we'll get a speed drop, which could be meaningful in terms of Blizzard damage output, because with the Wood Hammer coming in, it might knock out the Basculin Legion. No, the Tera came in handy, as it is now a neutral hit against the Basculin Legion and was able to survive 1 hit, which is all that it needed to do. But now you're under threat of Blizzard, and that's a lot of Ice-type weaknesses on Jacobs, and oh boy, Blizzard sounds really good here, and now this Ninetales no longer has any meaningful way to avoid damage from this Maushold. So Charlie, I think, is free to launch another Icy Wind if you want to control the speed against the Maushold, which I think you're slower than. So I think this Ninetales is in a weird spot, because I think you gotta handle Grassy Glide Possibility Bomb onto the Ninetales if you don't protect. But that's also an equal risk, because if you leave Basculin Legion alone, it might just switch out, and therefore you're not going to get any damage into that slot, which turns out to be that Magmar. And here goes Rillaboom with the Grassy Glide. Unfortunately, does not find the Basculin Legion. It finds a Magmar instead. Ninetales is faster than the Maushold, launches a Blizzard, which doesn't knock out either Pokemon, and Hunt comes out to make sure that the Maushold cannot protect or use Encore on its moveset, which is going to be important, because now the Maushold cannot protect in front of the Maushold. That Ninetales can't protect in front of the Maushold, excuse me. And the issue now for Jacob is once again this Ninetales. What can you do against it? There's not a lot you can do. And well, I wonder how much this doesn't matter. I'm adjusting my own words. Follow Me coming out from the Magmar. And here comes Grassy Glide into the Magmar to make sure the Focus Sash stays intact on this Ninetales. Even with the critical hit, it didn't really do a whole lot of damage. Blizzard's gonna knock out the Rillaboom. It's not gonna knock out the Maushold. No freeze anywhere, so it's a pretty big population bomb. That's gonna another taunt, so make sure Follow Me cannot be used anymore. I would have thought population bomb would have came out by now. And I think Jacob might be eyeing a long game with the dragons in the back. But you have to Tera one of them. You can't Tera both of them because, well, Tera's only once per game. And because Terra is only once per game, you need to Terra it properly, because if you Terra the wrong Pokemon, you could just lose his Ninetales, which both of the dragons in the back for Jacob are. I think I would eye another Blizzard from this Ninetales, but I would have to be wary if you're the Magmar. You're only attacking with Overheat, and it's not going to knock out anything immediately. So I could just see the Magmar switching out for that Basculegion in a sacrificial method. There's Jacob's Terra going to be launched out right now into that Hydreigon. It's going to be a Fire Terra once again, so it will... I guess the better question is, like, do you really want to lock into the Heat Wave again? Because it didn't wonder for you the first thing, but you need to be able to have a way to deal with that Magmar later on. Maushold's going to protect, so nothing's going to get knocked at this turn unless this Magmar gets unlucky with the attack coming in from the Ninetales and Magmar combination. Oh, or the Dragon Meteor coming out from the Hydreigon, excuse me. There is Icy Wind landing onto the Hydreigon, going to lower its speed by one stage. Overheat does double connect onto the Hydreigon. Yeah, there you go, not doing a whole lot of damage as well. First of all, you don't have Sun from the Murkrow to support it. The Heat Wave does connect onto both Pokemon. It will bring the Ninetales down to Focus Sash. Magmar going to take it comfortably once again. More Grassy Terrain recovery. It should be the last turn of Grassy Terrain and Snow, so I do see an endgame from Charlie. This Basculegion is only going to get stronger and stronger the more knockouts that Jacob takes against Charlie, because Basculegion has Faster Specs, which gets powerful with every knockout. Yeah, there you go. You just wait for another Icy Wind. You're just waiting for the support. Oh, it knocks out the Maushold! So, not only do you have the Hydreigon speed, it's permanent now. So, permanently at -2 speed, so you're halved. Another Overheat land with the Magmar, but its special attack stocks already been reduced to a crisp. Yeah, there you go. Just gets it under half. And therefore, now that you got it under half, you launch another Heat Wave. You will knock out the Ninetales. This Magmar's going to take it comfortably. Now this... Oh, that might have been a critical hit on the Magmar? I mean, I don't know if it really did. Yeah, it was not. So, what matters now is that Basculegion's perfectly set up. Depending on whether or not this is... Well, okay, never mind. I just... yeah, it has Extreme Speed, so, unfortunately, this Basculegion's not safe until that, Dragonite goes away, and here comes Basculegion. Unfortunately, they're gonna run into a problem of Extreme Speed being faster than whatever the Dragonite, Basculegion does here. And the Magmar's still taunted, so you cannot go for Follow Me, and it just leads you to a problem of, okay, well, I gotta take something in this slot, but do I want to take the incoming damage on the Basculegion? I think Extreme Speed's obvious. Yeah, there you go. You gotta switch it out here. I think Extreme Speed's obvious from the Dragonite to come out here. Como gonna at least try to take it better. Well, you do know that Hydreigon is locking the Heat Wave here as Como takes it very comfortably, and there's the Overheat gonna break the multi-scale on the Dragonite. And in comes another Choice Specs Heat Wave from Hydreigon. Both Pokemon should be able to take it right here. Yeah, they should be able to. I think Como might be in the range of another Extreme Speed. So maybe Magmar is the win condition for Charlie, because if you're able to Follow Me and launch the Clanging Scales, you should be able to knock out the Hydreigon, I think, at that range. But there's also a possibility of another double protect to make sure you want to catch Dragonite using a different move, but at the same time, you don't want to do that in front of Extreme Speed, because Extreme Speed knocks out both Pokemon, supposedly. Yeah, there's a Follow Me coming out of the Magmar to make sure to come launches an attack, because it's bound to be faster than this Hydreigon winning those Icy Wind drops. Oh, it's faster than the Dragonite! It's faster than the Dragonite, so gets out the Clanging Scales. Como gonna get a special attack move. The Hydreigon's been knocked out. Dragonite's at very low HP, so it might be in the range of the Basculegion. And the problem here from Jacob, you only have single target damage, so I think the game is over, and Charlie is going to be able to at least withstand round 1 of the Autumn Gym Challenge Cup as Scale Shot lands on the Magmar and knocks it out. Charlie still has 2 Pokemon left, both of them can offer damage, and Dragonite cannot knock out enough Pokemon in time. In comes the Basque Legion once again from Charlie. That Terra-fighting Basque Legion has tried to do something, but it really just did not do a whole lot. And the problem once again here, ladies and gentlemen, there's not enough damage in time for that Dragonite to do much of anything. Here's the last respects. There's the set and match. Charlie Kim, second place at Toronto Regionals in the Seniors Division, defeats Jacob Moore M with a 2-1 victory. Congratulations to Charlie for not only withstanding the storm that was Jacob's Tailwind team, but also was able to provide himself with the set win that he desperately needs in order to advance to an upper echelon of the Gym Challenge here tonight at Cyclone Turtle Blaze. Well, right now it's in the day, but you know, because later on with 6 rounds going in. And with that being said, we have a first commercial break to go for here, and we'll be right back for round number 2 after this break.